And one of the reasons I wanted to talk so much is because this is the rookie of this trophy.
Mm.
Collectibles, the rookie holds a significant premium
Oh,
over the next 24 years.
interesting.
So
Yeah.
these
That's,
rings that you're
that's what
designing,
collectors call it. The first thing is called the rookie.
I mean that's what it is in sports cards, but
Yeah.
this would be like the debut trophy
I see.
for you and for this design.
Hmm.
So no matter pretty much whatever you do in the future, like Michael Jordan, if his debut game worn jersey ever came up, it'll
Hmm.
sell for more than his NBA Finals jerseys.
Wow,
The
crazy.
debut holds that much of a premium. So
Hmm.
this is your debut trophy, and pretty much whatever you do going forward, this would be worth more.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I hope I never see these on a secondary market. Um, because I mean, going back to like my kind of desert epiphany of thinking about these things, this is the object that will stick with these players, or that's meant to stick with these players to symbolize the finality of the journey that they had set out on when they were probably 10 years old or something like that. And all those nights in the gym and all that hard work and all that discipline got them to the moment they were receiving this object. So hopefully they're never in a spot. And if they are,
that will definitely not happen. I can guarantee you that.
yeah,
Did you see John Morant gift his
yeah. Mm-hmm.
what do you think about that?
You know, it was interesting. There was a lot of reaction around that, and I actually thought this may be a little bit sacrilegious to say, but I actually think it's kind of interesting for there to be fluidity in that way. In that, it's like we are as a community selecting Ja for this honor, and then it's Ja's to do with what he pleases. And I think, you know, I think it was a really selfless thing. And I just thought I haven't come to like a decision on it or anything like that. I just think it's interesting. And I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know what. I just like, it's a unique experience and it's an interesting thing. Like, for instance, one of the things that we did throughout this year was they had always been issuing, I didn't know this before we started on this, but they'd always been issuing All-Star Weekend rings to all the players that were selected.
Right.
And that one, you'll see those pop up on secondary markets a lot. Some guy will get hot for a year and become an all-star selection, but because yeah, but what they had been doing, they'd be doing this since the 80s, and what they had been doing the whole time is because the all-star team roster is in flux basically until that week. They didn't feel comfortable issuing the rings beforehand. So what they did at All-Star Weekend, they would take the sizes of all the players selected and everyone's names, and they would make the rings after the fact, and they would get delivered probably close to when they're making their playoff push. So it was so far away from the players and their experience. By the time they received it, you almost never heard about it. I didn't know they existed until we started working on this thing. But one of the big innovations that I'm proud of that we did with this is recontextualize that ring as an invitation. So we kind of just standardized, we spoke to a bunch of players and got their sizes. We kind of just picked one that was in the middle. We didn't put the name in the ring, but we personalized each of the boxes for the players that it goes out for. And then we just sent it out beforehand as a congratulations, an invitation to come to the game.
I think that's so much better.
Like the teams had so much fun with it. So like the Warriors, for instance, they had the kids of the players that were on the Warriors that were selected to the All-Star team, like bring the rings out. And the Celtics did that with Tatum. So it was like, and you saw like LaMelo got his ring and was really excited about it when he came in. So we just like recontextualized the presentation of that moment and that honor in a way that I thought was very interesting. So I think, the reason I bring that story up at all is because we also give rings to the coaches, and Monty Williams was selected as the coach for the West for the All-Star team.
I never thought about that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do the assistant coaches get them too, or just the head?
So this is why I bring it up in the context of what Ja did with his award. Monty called us afterwards and he was like, "Hey, can you make rings for my staff?" So all 15 coaches on his staff, we made rings for. They weren't part of the all-star team, but he wanted to acknowledge them, and he kind of wanted to take the honor that we gave to him and share it with his team.
That's very cool.
So I thought that was a cool thing, and this jaw moment feels like a extension of that thing. So I think the thing I'm excited about, more than if I've come to some resolution on whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, is that we're bringing like a new energy to these honors, and they're being interpreted in new ways and accepted in new ways. And I think that's really interesting.